Hi there, welcome to today's painting tutorial. Today we are going to paint a cow with acrylic paints, so let's get started. I'm going to start with a 0 round brush. Let's pick up some of this black paint and put that into the center of the eye. Then I'm going to rinse off the brush and grab the sketch for the painting in the description below. Then I'm going to take some of this burnt umber. I'm going to go around this area here. And then we'll do that on the left side. Just sort of a ring with that burnt umber. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this grayish blue and just put a little bit of a highlight into that eye. Just a small line. And then let's take some beige paint, go around the outside edge of that eye. And then I'll pick up a little bit of white and put that around the eye as well. Okay, I'm going to take some of this burnt sienna and then add some of that around the eye. And then I'm going to pick up the black and let's go around the eyelid and underneath the eye as well. Then I'm going to take this light blue and put that around the eyelid. Then let's do that on the left side. We'll bring some black around and then pick up that light blue. Put some of that around the bottom lid and that top lid. Okay, I'm going to soften this a little bit. Do a little bit of blending around that eye. And now let's work on the nose area. So I'm going to pick up some black, put a little bit of that around the nostril. And then some of the dark brown. And then some of the beige. And I want that to mix together. And now let's put in, I'm going to take some dark gray and bring that down here along the bottom of the mouth. Then let's pick up some light blue. Let's start building this white area of the muzzle. So I'm going to pick up some white. And then this area is going to be white as well. And some of that black paint was still in the brush and it's sort of carried over, which is okay. I want some of that gray to turn and mix with the white. So now let's add some pink. And we can start bringing that around this area. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of the beige. And let's put the beige up here at the top. Then we'll pick up more white. And then some pink. Then bring that around the nostrils. And then I want a little bit of a shadow here. So I'm going to pick up some of this bluish color and just put that in. And then underneath here, we want some pink. And then underneath the chin, let's pick up some gray. Create a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to rinse the brush and remove some of that pink. Pick up some white. And feather that white in there. Also want that shadow. I'm going to bring some of this blue shadow in here. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of bring this down a little bit. All right, so now let's work. We have our eyes. Let's work on the ears. So we can take some of the dark brown and then some beige and then some pink. And the same thing on this side, dark brown, then beige, and then the pink. Just have that nice gradation of color. You can blend it together as well. And now let's work on the larger areas of the face. I want to change brushes. Let's pick up this 6 flat brush and start bringing this area in here. So I might start with a grayish color and bring that gray along the face. I could do a little bit here. And then on the sides, can come all the way up here. It's just a nice base shadow with that gray. And then pick up some white. And let's start bringing that white in. And I want it to go in the direction of the hair. Think about how that hair is kind of turning and growing, sort of in these little curl shapes. Okay, so we have that lighter color, and then the face is pretty dark. So I'm gonna take some black paint. Start bringing the black around the outer edge of the face. Let's come around this side, and over here. And then we want it to be lighter. Let's pick up some of this grayish blue and start putting that in where the black is. Again, I'm thinking about the direction of form, curving those brush strokes. We have a real highlight right here. You can bring that in. If it's a little bit too intense, you can go back, pick some of that up. I put a little bit of black back in there. Okay, and then let's do this side. So I'm using the edge of the brush, bringing that black in. And it's a little bit darker on this left side because that's in shadow. Then we get lighter. So let's pick up this bluish gray and feather that in. Also sort of a curved shape up here. And then over here along the ear, we can add some of that black. Okay, I'm going to continue with the black and bring that up here. So this area is where the fur is. We have sort of these jagged lines. So you can use the edge of the brush to put in these painterly strokes. Let's put in a little bit of gray paint. just fill that in. And then let's do this ear over here. So we can use the black. Again, we're trying to get the fur by using that edge of the brush. And then this area, looks like I forgot some of the sketch here. But we can just fill that in. Then pick up some gray, that light blue, and start filling it in. So I'm going over on top of that lighter area we put for the ear. And now let's bring the paint down this way. So there's a nice blue spot right here. And then a little bit of the blue for a highlight. And then we are getting sort of a light color. I'm going to go around here and down this way. Let's pick up a little more gray and put that over here. We're just getting some black. So you want to paint from dark to light. Let's get all of our dark colors in. And then get a little bit lighter. So we can do that with the gray. Transition a little bit. Just put a little bit of gray over here. And then some of these lines here that I put into the sketch, you can add the gray to those. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this blue and put a little bit of that in. That creates a nice highlight. Then let's pick up the white. Start putting the white in these nice spots. And these can be sort of square shaped. It can mix in with the color underneath. All right, so now let's go back with a 0 round and let's try to clean some things up a little bit and add some more detail. So I'm going to take this dark umber, fill in a little bit of this eye, and do that same thing with this left eye. And then let's take some white paint, put a little bit of a highlight into the eye. It's kind of a line. And then I'm going to take some black. And let's put in some eyelashes. So they have these nice big eyelashes. This one is coming over the edge. So it's going to bring a little bit of dark shadow to the nostril and maybe to that mouth too. Okay, now think about what kind of highlights you want to add. So I could take some white and I might put a little bit of a fur shape here. Just give it a little bit of texture. I could put some whiskers around the nose, maybe underneath the chin. Could do that with a smaller brush if you wanted to get a lot of detail. Let's bring a highlight right here under the nose. and over here, and then along this top. I'm going to add a little bit of blue with the white and bring a little bit of a highlight into this ear. Maybe a little bit more blue. Let's bring some over here. Just bring some of these highlights back out. And then I want to go around the eye. Let's see if I can do this with a zero liner brush. It's a really thin line, so I'm going to take some white and some beige. And just see if I can go around that eye with this thin liner brush. Just need a little bit of a highlight to give it some realism. I come down this area a little bit. Okay, if you ever need like really fine detail, use this zero liner. And I might put a few little. This would be better to use for the whiskers as well. Okay, I'm going to take a 6 filbert. Just do a few more highlights. I'm going to take that white paint. See if we can bring out a white highlight right in the middle of the face. Sometimes you need to do more than one layer of the white paint with the acrylics. Then let's put a little bit of black up at the top here and sort of feather that out, using that edge of the brush to feather. Okay. And then I'm just doing some final touches. I'm going to take the white paint with this 6 filbert. And I just want to bring out the mouth a little bit more. This side here. And then this side here. And then I'm going to put some black back in. That's going around this mouth. Just a little shadow so that we don't lose the structure of the mouth there. Okay, and I think we will call this complete. That is how you can paint a cow with acrylic paints. I hope you give this a try. Like and subscribe for more painting tutorials. And if you want to go deeper into acrylic painting, check out my free guide in the description below. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.